all 17 EU teams that will be attending the first CS2 Major have been set. This video will break down all the narratives and storylines for the first 8 teams to qualify for Copenhagen. A redemption after failing to qualify for the previous major, VP faced no competition as they plowed their way through the RMR. With James at the helm, VP houses no shortage of tactical depth and calculated strategy, sometimes even alienating fans with their signature slow pace. One thing viewers can look forward to, however, is the ascension of Flit, who has started 2024 as one of the absolute top CS2 players right now. Although the team stumbled a bit at the Katowice play-ins earlier this year, this is a squad that no team wants to meet in the server, no matter their form. They are the ultimate dark horse team. Not dropping a single map at the RMR, G2 looked to carry over their success to the major. The team all in all had a successful 2023, winning 2 of the 3 biggest events last year. G2 proves that despite their inconsistencies, when the stars align, they have more than enough firepower and talent to dominate opponents. However, this is not the same team as last year. Replacing their star anchor JKS with former player Nexa, the move left a lot of fans scratching their heads and left a lot to be desired in the server. Concurrently, since the release of CS2, Niko and Hunter began to show a worrying dip in performance, which snowballed into some of the worst statistical slumps in their respective careers. All of these factors have resulted in G2 having to lean heavily on m0NESY, who on the bright side seems to have taken another leap this year, putting up incredible carry jobs one after another. The RMR proved kind to the Kovac cousins, however, as they seem to regain some of their superstar form. If G2 can maintain this level, few teams can match them in talent. With Simple announcing his return to CS and joining Falcons, it seems this 5-man iteration of Navi is here to stay. However, will this newfound certitude be enough for the team to make an impact at the major? There are some great pieces on this roster, but it feels like this Navi core, despite being together for quite some time now, still have some kinks to iron out. Will Ime ever look like the player he was at the previous major? Will Bit ever look like the player he was in his rookie year? Is Wonderful good enough to be the best player on a title contender? Does Alexi B still have it in him to lead his team to trophies, something that he hasn't accomplished since his departure from ENCE almost 5 years ago? A lot of questions Navi need to address should they hope to make a deep run at the major. After struggling hard to qualify for the previous major, it's somewhat of a relief as a fan of CS to see Faze make it through the RMR cleanly. From the start of 2022 until now, this Faze core has cemented itself as the team that is synonymous with top-level CS, winning 8 S-tier event trophies, more than any other organization during this time. Despite ups and downs, this team is a contender at every event they attend, and the release of CS2 has only further solidified this fact. Making the finals at every CS2 event they've attended so far, this Faze core is by far the most consistent team in the scene right now. With the addition of superstar rifler Frozen late last year, Faze is arguably the top team in terms of pure firepower. With so many weapons at the helm, Kerrigan looks to take his squad to the promised land once more, and possibly finally solidify a Faze era. Formerly known as Movistar Riders, this Koi team was certainly a surprise to make it to the major. With their star operator Sampaius and in-game leader Alex both leaving for better teams, most fans were off this Koi team. However, fate proves to be an unpredictable phenomenon, as while both Sampaius' Falcons and Alex's NIP failed to qualify for the major, the very team they left behind managed to make it through. Koi isn't expected to make a huge splash at the major, but hey, no one expected them to make it this far. The Turkish Dream Team, A team comprised of all of the top talents and AIM stars in Turkey, constant roster moves and questionable in-game chemistry has always gatekept this squad from truly breaking into the Tier 1 space. However, with what finally seems to be a stable roster, Eternal Fire currently is a team with huge upset potential. With one of the most skilled riflers in the world in Xantares, nothing is impossible for this underdog. A bit of a middling Tier 2 team, the Portuguese squad rarely gets the opportunity to see any LAN action. In fact, the last notable LAN we saw this lineup at was the Paris Major RMR almost a year ago, where they finished dead last. Coming into the Copenhagen RMR, history was looking to repeat itself as the team found themselves down 0-2. However, despite the lack of LAN reps, this team managed to come back all the way and sweep 3 best of 3s in a row to qualify for Copenhagen. Every major cycle, there seems to be a completely unknown CIS team that comes out of nowhere and somehow makes a deep run. QBF at Boston 2018, Avangar in Berlin 2019, Spirit at Antwerp 2022, Monty at Paris 2023. Could Amkal be this team in Copenhagen? Fans may remember this roster's core from teams like OneWin and Entropic, squads that were notorious for dominating the Tier 2 scene and occasionally punching above their weight in Tier 1. With a huge scalp in Falcons already claimed, how much more does this lineup built for upsets have to offer? This RMR cycle has given us many moments of heartbreak and elation. Join me next week as I break down the next 8 teams to qualify for the First CS2 Major.